welcome to another Walking Through History video. On this video I've brought you to the town of Conwy on the North Wales coast. As you can see behind me, it does have a castle. The town is a medieval market town. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now I couldn't come to Conwy without showing you my favourite shop. It's the night shop and it's just behind me. I have had permission to film in there as well. So some of my older subscribers will know that I used to be a living history persona of a Knights Temple, and this is where I came and got all my gear, well, most of it anyway. So let's have a look inside. Conwy Castle dominates the town. Built in 1283 by master mason James St George, it took just 4 years to complete. King Edward I had 10 fortifications built in Wales, and these was known collectively as the Iron Ring. Unlike earlier simple square castles, Edward's new fortresses had inner and outer curtains, circular towers and gateways with portcullises. They was quite often whitewashed to emphasise their power and occupied key strategic positions. All of Edward's castles were a day's march from each other and could be supplied by sea if they was ever sieged. Conwy town still looks very similar to the town Edward envisaged some 700 years ago. The town walls stretch for some 1,400 yards around the town and are flanked by 21 towers and 3 double tower gates. The combination of the castle and the walls make Conwy one of Europe's finest surviving medieval towns. Nestled at the end of a terrace of houses on the quayside, you will find the smallest house in Great Britain. The home was built sometime in the 16th century. It measures a minuscule 72 inches wide and 122 inches high. The last tenant who lived there was a local fisherman named Robert Jones. The rooms were too small for him to stand up fully, as Robert was 6 foot 3 inches tall. He was forced to move out on the 15th of May 1900 when the council declared the house unfit for habitation. The original owner of the house was also called Robert Jones, and since his sons showed little interest in the property, it was passed down to female members in the family, and this is how it remains today. For a small admission fee, visitors can have a peek inside, although upstairs is off limits due to structural instability, but it can be viewed from the stepladder. Conwy still has strong links with fishing in the sea, as can be seen with the fishing equipment that's often left on the quayside. Another important building, which is Grade 1 listed, is the Conwy House. Following the conquest of Wales by Edward I, Conwy became an important commercial centre. The town was granted a royal charter in 1284. English settlers, particularly from the counties of Cheshire and Lancashire, were encouraged to populate the new borough. During the Victorian period, Aberconwy House was used as a temperance hotel. Such hotels gave people who had pledged not to drink alcohol an alternative place to relax and enjoy non-alcoholic drinks, with the most popular ones at the time being dandelion and burdock, cream sodas and tonics such as rose cordials. In fact, the Victorian temperance movement had a huge influence on the soft drinks industry. Plasmow is an Elizabethan townhouse. The property was built in 3 phases between 1576 and 1585 by Robert Wynne, who was a member of the local gentry and an influential Welsh merchant. Robert was known for his hospitality, and the household was supported by his local dairy herds, orchards and gardens. As we take a look inside, we can see that it is a fine townhouse of the Elizabethan era. After Robert Wynne's death, Plasmow passed into the hands of the Mostyn family and ceased to be used as a family home. It was rented out for various purposes during the 18th and 19th century, including being used as a school, cheap lodgings and finally as the headquarters of the Royal Cambrian Academy of Art. In the 20th century, costs of maintenance grew considerably and its condition deteriorated. The Welsh Heritage Agency, Cadw, took over the management of the property in 1993. After a 42-month restoration project at the cost of £3.3 million, its doors opened once again as a tourist attraction. In the middle of the town can be found St Mary's Church. Cistercian monks marked out the foundations for Aberconwy Abbey in 1172, when it was just a quiet farmland. They enjoyed a simple life based on daily prayer, work and study. After King Edward had built Conwy Castle, the abbey became St Mary's Church. The tomb of our friend from Plasmow, Robert Wynne, is in the chancel here. Back on the high street is Edwards of Conwy Master Butchers. Since 2007 they have won no less than 18 awards, and it's certainly worth a visit. I can personally recommend their sausages and their pork pies. Down by the train station is the visitor centre, which sells all manner of gifts. Built by Thomas Telford, the suspension bridge is 326 feet long and spans over the River Conwy. Its construction was finished in 1826 at a cost of £51,000. In today's money, that's equivalent to £4.7 million. At the time, it was one of few suspension bridges in the world to carry road traffic, and it replaced a long-established ferry service. At the south end of the bridge stands the toll house. In the 1890s, toll keepers David and Maria Williams kept the suspension bridge running 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Maria even took in washing from around the town of Conwy to make extra money to sustain the family. As you can imagine, when I was filming this, my inquisitive nature got the better of me, and I couldn't help but wonder what was behind the locked door. And yes, I did try it. Anyway, now let's take a peek. The town of Conwy is a beautiful place to visit. As I've shown in this video, it is steeped with history, but I feel I've only scraped the surface. I do plan to come back at some point in the future and do some more in-depth videos. So that concludes this video. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the channel for future videos like this one. Give me thumbs up, leave some comments, all that jazz, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.